to continue with your book and the title in your book, you mentioned you have the word culture. So what is it that you want to say about what is a business culture and why is it so important again?
Culture is really important. I know it's a word that people throw around, but
Yeah.
from my experience, culture is really what makes the company unique to itself. And so I would pretty much say it is the DNA of the logo that you see. It's made up of the behaviors of the people, founder
Mm,
included. So if you think about it, it's almost like it's their go-to method when they're reacting to a certain business problem. The way they serve their employees, the way they serve their customers, the way they put the product out there for the world. It's the touch and feel when you walk into a company, regardless
mm,
it's virtual or physical. So it is important because let's put it this way, if the DNA of a company isn't exactly aligned to what the product is really about or the purpose of why this company exists, then it will continue to stay dishonest in their cause and who they serve. And what good is that to anyone at all? So great cultures, great businesses that have great cultures usually really is very honest to what they believe in, and it becomes their core principle in everything that they do. And that makes up the behavior of the people within the company itself.
and that requires high EQ.
One of those elements, yes. I mean, if you look at the pyramid, and if it starts from, the book is really talking about how the behaviors of the founders can actually affect the culture of the businesses that they're building. And so, it's almost saying that, when you're running a team even as a manager, you may have some subset of skills that you have not harnessed in life before, or it's maybe just not something that you have learned throughout your journey and never
Mm,
really gotten the chance to. And so instead of penalizing the downfalls of this particular leader or manager, then maybe let's focus on how can we fulfill the team or the company for these gaps. So maybe hire, one of the chapters that I really emphasize on is there are great leaders out there who are very, very self-aware of where the lack-offs are. And so therefore they build incredible leadership teams to help them run incredible businesses. And I believe, having EQ is also a way of translating it into this intentional reflection where you truly understand where your lack-offs are. And so therefore you seek help to bridge those gaps.
right, right. But so, like you mentioned, we mentioned the word like culture a little bit a little bit everywhere. But how do you know when you've built a great culture?
Uh, you know when, for example, you would know a culture is not exactly the way you have envisioned it to be when you start building your business, is when the environment starts to change and it starts to become really uncomfortable for everybody, including yourself. Even if you're the
Mm,
founder, you're the person who started this business. And when the business is starting to face people challenges as well, and they're not circumstances that are impacted by, say, the economy crisis, or rather external challenges, we would call this. I'll give you an example.
yep.
Say you have a product that isn't released on time, not because of the delays that were caused by maybe the outsourced team or the licensing or whatever that is external, but it's simply because the internal team couldn't get aligned on what exactly needs to be done. So this is a people problem.
Mm,
And when you see an issue like this, we would then think that the solution here is to make a change in the culture. And in a lot of ways, we're calling this creating a better performing culture. So that's an example of why, culture has a lot of subset. We talk about better performing culture. We talk about honest and transparency culture. We talk about, a well-being culture. We talk about people-centric cultures. There's many ways of kind of like skinning the cat. But when there is a problem that is directly related and the root cause comes from people problems, then you will have a culture problem.
right. And this ties back into what you were saying earlier about communication, which is one of the great skills that founders should develop, because you're
Absolutely.
not in your people's heads and they're not in your head. So it's very
Correct.
important that you communicate the culture or whatever it is that you want to achieve to your people, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And staying very honest and true to yourself on this course, and you'll be able to attract the right people to come and build these great businesses for you.